Well, hey guys, I'll tell you what, we got a special treat today. Thank you for participating in the project.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Why are you interested in participating in the gun self-defense project?
I feel like as a young independent woman, having to protect myself is important. And I've had some incidences happen that have been rather frightening. And I feel like if I had a gun and I could protect myself, I would have been a lot safer, a lot better off.
Wow. Tell me about these. You told me that something like last week happened.
I'd opened up my car door, and I just felt arms around my waist trying to pull me out of my car. And I didn't have a gun, but I used my feet and I got away. But again, a gun would have probably helped me out there, at least to scare him. So
in other words, you were sitting in your car, about to get out. Your door was open. You got rushed.
Yep.
Ooh,
he was a big guy too. It's terrifying.
What happened?
I just kicked. Couldn't even scream. I was terrified.
Really? So it's right there in broad daylight?
Yeah, in broad daylight. That's what got me the most is people are really bold these days. You have to learn to protect yourself, especially if you're a young lady.
Well, that's great advice.
So I got lucky. So
you did get lucky. Do you think if you had a firearm, would that have changed things, or would you feel safer right now?
I would have felt safer for sure if I had a firearm with me.
Cut! So I just cut the scene right here because this lovely lady was just about to be attacked and she did not have a firearm or any way to protect herself. So what could be happening to her right now? She could be kidnapped, she could be raped. You fill in that blank right there. Now this time we're going to use a pistol. If she had a firearm, and you see how this situation could change right here and possibly save this lovely lady's life. What?
Oh my God! No! Back off or I'll shoot!
Oh!
God, it was so scary.
New York girl barbarically raped by teenage gangsters. Police search for two men who robbed a boy in New York subway. Woman robbed at gunpoint for 10 cents. What is happening nowadays? With new horror stories happening every day, how can you be safe? Hi, I'm Derek Savage, and welcome. In this film, we're going to cover several aspects of gun safety, from loading your weapon, cleaning your weapon, getting to know your weapon, and most importantly, having respect for your weapon. And we're also going to cover gun self-defense. Crime rate is rising significantly throughout the country, throughout the world, and it doesn't matter where you live anymore. You can be the victim of a crime. So we're going to teach you how to get out of a situation with your gun. In other words, how to protect yourself from being attacked, beaten, raped, or even murdered. And how to protect your family and your friends from becoming a victim. And we're also going to cover something that I think is very important, and that's the CCW, the Concealed Weapons Permit. I'm a firm believer in the Concealed Weapons Permit, and I'm going to take the class right beside you. We're going to cover from A to Z, and I think this is going to be a very, very interesting time, and it's going to be very exciting. I'm excited for this. And just so you know, I got my first gun when I was about 10 years old, and I've had one ever since. Plus, I used to work in the machine gun business, so I guess you could say I have a little bit of knowledge on this topic, on this subject right here. Now to a great question. Why am I making this project? And that answer is very simple. And it's simply because I am sick and tired of always seeing articles about women being attacked and being abused. So I'm going to do whatever I can to help you to protect yourself and to protect your family. But hey, enough of that. Why don't we go in and get started? Now you're just going to start with the 4 basic gun safety rules. First is always keep your gun pointed in a safe direction. This is so important. That's why it's rule 1 right there. Keep your weapon pointed in a safe direction. And number 2 is, hey, if you're looking at me, I bet you already guessed it, and that is keep your finger off of the trigger. This is so important because accidents can happen. And third, they say keep your gun unloaded until it's ready to use. Now, on the gun that I keep beside my bed, by my desk, I keep it loaded, but then it's ready to use. But if you're storing it in a safe or an environment like that, go on and keep it unloaded. You don't need to keep it loaded. And 4 is to check your weapon. Whenever you pick up a gun, check it to make sure if it's empty or not, or if it's loaded, okay? Now, this right here, this is a fake gun. And if you guys saw my last movie, Cool Cat Saves the Kids, it's the anti-bullying kids gun safety movie. This is a prop from it right here. This is the gun that they saw, but I don't have a revolver, so we're doing here. But now on a revolver, you push the cylinder release button, the cylinder pops out, and then you got the bullets right inside the cylinder. You can look in it and tell if it's loaded or not. Revolvers usually either have 5 or 6 cylinder or bullet holes in it right there for you right there. Now, here's a 9mm, okay? What do we want to do to check it? First, you push the clip release button right here. Bam! Oh, wow, this gun just happens to be loaded right here. So we better check the top slide. Oh, it was loaded. So that's why you always check and see if your gun's loaded. Now I'm going to pop an empty clip in the weapon, but also let me step one step further. Whenever you check to see if a gun is loaded, always look in the gun. You see right through here? I can see you right there. You see me? Hey, how you doing? But always look and look down it. Just don't take it for granted. Look down it. This gun is empty right here. It's a safe weapon, okay? We're going to put an empty clip in it so I can give you a few demonstrations right there. Now, there are 2 types of handguns. One is the revolver, and the other is a semi-automatic right there. Now, on the revolver, let me show you some of the parts right here. Now, on the gun, you got your frame, your barrel, your cylinder release button, your trigger, and your hammer. Now, on most revolvers, you can either pull the trigger or you cock the hammer back, and then you can shoot that way right there. Now, on the semi-automatic, here's the parts right here. You got your frame, your upper slide, your handle, you got your safety right here on this particular weapon. There is your magazine release right there. And also, this is your slide release. And you push that down. When there's not a clip in it, you pop that down. That brings your slide right up right there. Okay? Now, in Hollywood where you see them when they're always in the movies, bam, 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 and their gun goes in, it goes click like that. If you got a clip in it in real life, that's all Hollywood. That's fake right there. After your last round is ejected out, your firearm would end up like this. Then what you do is you push your magazine release button, you put a new one in there, boom, and you push that down right there. Then your weapon's ready to fire again. Now, different revolvers are different. On this particular gun right here, this is a .380. On this one right here, you cannot pull the trigger and do it. You have to cock the hammer back to shoot this weapon right here. So if you pull it out and just pull the trigger, nothing's going to happen. You got to cock the hammer. Once again, you've heard me say this before. You will hear me say this several times. Get to know your weapon. Bottom line, this gun right here can save your life. It can save you from being attacked. It can save your family and your friend's life. get to know your weapon. And ladies, hey, treat it just like, you know, when you first meet somebody that you really like, you want to get to know them better. You want to get to know the person's favorite color, their favorite ice cream, you know, what they like to wear and all that. You're interested in get to know them. Treat your handgun the same way. And I know you may be laughing there, but think about it. It's very important. And now we're going to have some really nice ladies that will participate in the project that have some really interesting stories of things that's happened to them. And maybe some of the same situations have happened to you, but these are real life true stories. So hey, it's time to go on with the project. Hi, I'm Derek Savage, and this is just a fabulous day today. We're over here at 790 Talk Radio, and we're here to interview Miss Heidi Harris, and she is Las Vegas's top talk radio person. Been listening to her show a lot of times, so this is a true honor for me. Heidi, how you doing? It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you. You too.
And see, whenever I listen to your show, I've heard, well, first of all, I know that you're very pro-gun.
Yes.
And would you tell me about what do you feel?
Well, I've shot guns ever since I was a little kid. My dad always had them in the house. He didn't hunt or anything, but he had them in the house. And so his attitude was, if I'm going to have guns in the house, you can't hide them from the kids. They're going to find them. And so we learned how to shoot very, very early, and we were taught, you know, never ever play with it, never touch it when dad's not around, always assume it's loaded, that kind of thing.
One thing, see, you follow the news very closely, been a talk radio
Too
host.
close, Derek. More closely than I want to most of the time.
And I hate it when I see that it's very apparent that crime against women is escalating now. And I'm a firm believer in the concealed weapons permit. Do you believe in that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think women are crazy not to have a gun somewhere. But you need to be able to use it. You have to understand how to use it. And don't put yourself in a situation where you might have to because you haven't thought of 3 other things. In other words, you can have a concealed carry permit, which is a great idea. You can have a gun and be trained to use it, another great idea. A gun is a very important part of women's self-defense, but you also have to be very aware of what's around you. There are a lot of things that go along with women's safety, and a gun is just part of the whole equation.
I heard you talking about a cocktail waitress.
She went out to her car one day, and a guy pulled a gun on her as she was getting in her car.
Wow.
And she had just bought the car, and so she didn't know what to do, and she did the very, very smart thing, very courageous thing. With one hand, she threw her keys out the window. With the other hand, she put it up against the gun barrel. He shot right through her hand, but he took off. And she was back to work a couple weeks later, but he took off, and she was saved because she was smart enough to know that there are usually 2 crime scenes in most cases like that. There's the place where they kidnap you. There's the place where you wind up, where they can do whatever they want to you, cut you in little pieces, and nobody's going to stop them because they get you out in the desert somewhere. So she was incredibly smart and incredibly brave.
And really, what she did with it was really intelligent. She threw her keys where that car was dead. There's no way. He knew that either he better get the heck out of there or, you know, he's going to get caught.
My attitude would be, you're going to kill me here then. You're not going to kill me somewhere else. Go ahead, right here in this parking lot. Because there's only so much they can do in a parking lot, realistically. But if they get you out in the desert in Vegas, there's plenty of desert still there, then it could be a disaster. So women have to think about all of those things and not putting themselves in situations where they might be hurt or they're not paying attention to what goes on around them. And that's a huge factor. In a perfect world, it'd be nice if nobody needed a gun. It'd be so nice. But the reality is it's somewhat different. And so you might as well protect yourself. And I feel safer knowing that somebody there could protect us because when seconds count, the police are minutes away. Once again, in a perfect world, this wouldn't be a risk. But nowadays, it's never been a perfect world, but nowadays you don't know who these crazy people are. You just don't. If they perceive you to be weak, you're going to be more likely to be a target.
I know that sucker perfect right there, too. See it?
My ears are ringing. Thank you.
Okay. Come when you're ready.
Ready.
Wow. All 3 bottles blew up just like that, man. Now let's talk about your grip. Okay, this is how you grip your firearm. Grip is very important. On a revolver, you grab your hand around it and you hold it nice and tight right here. You don't hold the weapon low because when you shoot it, it can fall back. And I've seen people shoot a gun before where it actually flipped out of their hand and actually hit them. Back, my granddaddy used to call that a naughty hit, and you don't want that because it can hurt you and it's dangerous right there. So grab your handgun up, get a good, tight, firm grip on it. And on a revolver, hold it right here. Then you got a nice, firm grip where you can fire that weapon. Bam, bam. Okay, on a semi-automatic, you take your hand and you just grab it right up there. Get a nice, tight grip on that firearm right there. You see how it is? You don't grab it like it, because look, that gun, you have no control over it right there. So get a nice firm grip right up in there. And now you see this empty space? That is a perfect place to put this hand. You grab it right up under there and bam, you got a nice firm grip on your handgun grip right there. Now always remember, on a semi-automatic, your upper slide slides. Let me just take this clip out right here to make it nice and easy where it keeps going. Okay, your upper slide when you shoot it goes back. So you don't want to hold your gun up or anything like that, because when that slide goes back, if it hits your hand, it could just rip the skin right off of it. It can hurt really bad. So grab down. Keep that in mind right there. And there's a nice grip. Now, why don't we come in and get a nice little close-up of the bullets right here. There's several types of bullets, but your main two style bullets are your round head and hollow point. The round head, pop one out right here. You see how it's round, just like that? But now on the hollow point, this is a copper jacket, hollow point right here. And the difference is, when a round head goes in the target, it can literally go all the way through the target. On self-defense, I prefer the hollow point simply because when the hollow point hits, it mushrooms out, which gives it much more stopping power. But also, it's not just that. If you shoot a target and it goes through it and that bullet hits somebody in the background, you're responsible for that. You know, having a CCW or carrying a firearm is not child's play. I mean, you know, this is very serious right here. So, that's why I always prefer the hollow point, simply because it stops the target, but the bullet usually, it'll stop in the target usually, and that's very important. Today we have a special treat. This is Davita Rochelle. We've spoken, she has some really, really interesting stories. Davita, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, first of all, thanks for coming here and participating in the project.
Well, you're very welcome. I think it's very, very important that mature women learn how to have a gun, fire a gun, and be prepared on their own, not rely on someone else, and definitely not rely on the police.
That's something that hasn't been addressed yet. And first of all, thanks for bringing that up about the police. Myself, I am very, very much pro-police, but what are policemen? They're human beings. And a human being cannot be every place at every time. And that's why do you think it's important to depend on yourself instead of other people?
Absolutely. I am very pro-police, but unfortunately they're completely overburdened. And this is not the world that I grew up in, where you didn't even have to have a key and lock your doors. You call the police and they'll tell you, we prioritize things. We can't guarantee how fast we'll be there. It could be half an hour, it could be 2 hours, it could be 4 hours.
You know, and that's very true too right there. And that's a great point right there. And it's just, they can't be every place all the time to protect people. And so why now are you interested in a gun, being a woman?
I live in a very nice place that is gated. They even have undercover cops and FBI agents living there. But still, wow, there was a man lurking around, and I saw him, and I sure wish I had a gun, because there were reports later, and they didn't want to let us know because they didn't want to scare everyone, where people were robbed when they went to check the mail.
Oh, wow.
And that was daytime, too.
So really, it's self-protection then, is what you're thinking?
Absolutely. And I said you cannot rely on the police. They even tell you, do the best you can on your own. You have a gun, you're self-reliant.
You just have to constantly, it's not being paranoid, it's just knowing what's going on around you all the time. And if you know that and they know you're on to them, they're going to find a weaker target. A gentleman doesn't sneak up on you, ever. There's nothing you need to discuss with me if you had to sneak up on me to discuss it.
You ready? Fire! Oh! Hi, We're at the Las Vegas Gun Show today, and the reason why I wanted to put a gun show in the project is just to show you that they're not the big bad wolf that the media portrays them to be. In fact, I always see a lot of families here, a lot of kids, and that's because there's something for everybody. I mean, from t-shirts to camping gear to hunting knives. They also have a lot of antiques and even old coins, and I love old coins. So guys, let's go inside and have a lot of fun at the Las Vegas Gun Show. Hi, we're at the gun show today, and it's really cool out here, and I just wanted to show you what a gun show is really like. In fact, they have a lot of other stuff at gun shows other than just guns. Like here's an old World War II vehicle right here. You know, it's a great big event. They got holsters here. They got a lot of antiques. There's a lot of military hats right here. Check these out. All of them very pro-military at the gun shows. Really love that aspect about them. Right here, that's a metal plate that goes in the body armor that the soldiers wear. This sucker must weigh 20 pounds. It's heavy right here. That's just the front. This is for right here for shooting for target practice right here. Metal when you shoot. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, that hurt. That's solid steel right there. Here's a soldier outfit. Pretty cool. Got a lot of respect for the soldiers. Now that's really cool right there. This is a really nice pistol for a lady, a small Glock right there. It's 9mm, just $4.79 on that one. Like here's, it's a nice 45 right there. Good feeling gun right there. 45 is a nice weapon. Here's one, a chrome model right here. Hey, look at this though. That's an actually 50 cal bullet right there. Look how big that is. Wow, that's a big boy there. $5 each. One thing I want to show you is the gun shows are not the big bad things that the media makes them out to be. It's very family oriented. I hope you're having fun, and really I just want to show you that it's not bad in here. It's really cool. This is Miss Patty Stewart. And hi Patty, it's great to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
And what Patty specializes in is non-lethal type weapons, as in pepper sprays and stun guns. So if anybody is in the position where you don't want to carry a gun to protect yourself, this lady right here has a perfect solution. And Patty, here, just take it away for us.
I do. Well, we've got pepper sprays, which are cute and pink.
Okay,
and they're
okay.
18% OC, which is the highest that you can buy inside of the United States.
What does that mean, 18% OC? I don't know.
OC is oleoresin capsicum, and it's basically a really hot pepper. So have you ever cut up like a jalapeno and touched your eye?
Oh, Lordy B, it just makes you cry.
Oh, yeah. And this is about 10,000 times worse.
Really?
Yes, because what we're trying to do is make it so that the bad guy can't see. He can't function, basically. You spray it in his eyes, nose, and mouth.
Okay.
And then his eyes, he's literally going like this to be able to see.
Okay.
Nose and mouth, it's like bronchitis where you're...
So in other words, it cuts down his breathing.
It does.
Very much so.
Very much.
I've seen on the movies and people being hit with it, the big guys, or if they're on drugs or something, it may not stop them. So I guess the 18 is a much better, maybe
Yes.
try to spray up their nose even? Or
Exactly.
what-
Actually, you want to make a T. So you go across the eyes and up and down the nose and mouth. The reason being is it gets in his eyes. Even if you go for the brow line, it'll sweat down. And then the nose and mouth is where you get the burning and the hacking and coughing.
Now, how many shots would you get out of something? Okay, this is the size right here, just so I can put it up by hand right here. You
It's a half an ounce of
okay.
pepper spray.
This is a half-ounce
Yes.
model right here. Okay.
Exactly. And it's enough to take down your bad guy, but you're not going to use it on more than one bad guy.
Okay, so
And
it's one good,
yes.
strong take then. Is what you
Exactly.
got.
And for $10, it's worth getting another one. I would rather empty that entire can on the bad guy and know that I can run away, as opposed to, oh, let me just get you a little bit and then see how far I can run.
And what you just said is really great, because don't be stingy with it, and
Right.
don't be, oh, I don't want to hurt it.
Exactly. These won't hurt him. That's why I love these items. no long-term damage.
That would work great on your car dash, or you could put Velcro with nothing else to put it right up
Exactly.
there.
And then you can take it off, take it with you when you're walking,
There you
put
go.
it back up when you're in the car.
Okay.
That, and there's people that like to attack you in the car too. Think about all the times that women are attacked at ATMs.
Oh, wow.
And it's just, mostly it's complacency. We get there, we're doing our own thing. You're in your own world. That's when the bad guy's gonna attack.
That's it, when you're comfortable.
Yes.
And I mean, the world, unfortunately, is changing quite a bit now.
Yes.
And that's why this documentary is so important for the ladies and the men, too. I mean, you got to protect yourself nowadays.
Yes. Are you guys excited to go to the park?
Yeah!
Okay, let's go play.
Wow, I'm gonna be rich. Give me the money!
Hey, back up!
Ah!
See guys, just like mommy taught you, always be prepared to protect yourselves.
Hey guys, here's our pepper spray demonstration. First, you'll notice the red push button is in the safety lock mode. What you do is you just switch it right over. Now it's live. Now here is our bad guy, and there must be at least 12 to 14 foot distance between us. That gives you a lot of safe distance, you know, from when attacker is trying to come after you. So you see what this bad boy can do to help save you. Woo! I tell you what, I bet you that bad guy ain't feeling too good right now.
Three things you have to teach your kids about, that whether or not you have them, whether or not you like them: dogs, guns, and pools. Because your kids are going to come into contact with all three of those things sooner or later, whether you have them or not. And so you can't say, oh, I don't like guns, I'm afraid of guns. Your kid might go to somebody else's house and see a gun. Someone pulls it out. A kid who's taught about gun safety will say, no, you don't do that with parents not around. But a kid who's not will go, wow, what's that? That's how problems start.
Wow, it's such a beautiful day in Las Vegas today, and I just love it when the weather is like this out here. But unfortunately, I'm not that happy right now, and that's because I saw an article on the news just a little bit ago where a child got hurt with a gun. That is unacceptable. But the great thing is there is a solution, and the solution is in the Cool Cat movie. Come on in with me, and let me show you something very cool and very interesting too. Well, hello everyone. Hi, this is my studio right here. 1 second it's green screen, and the next, now we're in Cool Cat land. And this is what I was talking about outside. I'm the creator of the Cool Cat children's brand. And in my films, I put a lot of positive messages in there. And in my last Cool Cat film, this is a kids anti-bullying film. And our next movie coming out is Cool Cat Stops a School Shooting. But once again, Cool Cat puts nice positive messages in the stories for the children. And so I surely hope you go out and check out Cool Cat. And that's because Cool Cat loves you. But guys, now it's time to get back to our film.
Almost 2 years ago, somebody came to my door and my security door was not locked. I opened the door and two people forced their way into my house and they said, we're looking for your money. And I was really badly beaten. And
So they beat you?
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
ransacked my house, and I was obviously in great danger of my life. And since then, I never leave the security door unlocked. I lock it the minute I walk in the door. But it has been within the last 6 months, I find that it is very, very important to have a concealed weapon because, you know, if I believe in the wording that if guns were outlawed, only outlaws will have guns.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. I'm a
And-
firm believer. Hello, ladies. Hey, we got something very entertaining for you in store today. You know, in some states, it may be difficult to get your CCW, concealed weapons permit, so I want to show you alternative ways to protect yourself if you're ever being attacked. And we're going to show you some basic karate moves where if someone comes in, that you can help to get yourself out of a situation. But I tell you what, instead of me telling you about it, just come on in and have a good time. Come on in.
Thank you.
How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great.
Hey, I'll tell you what, first of all, thank you so much for inviting us over here to your karate dojo.
All
And
right.
why don't we go in and get started?
Gun defense is number one. To learn gun defense, you should learn gun defense. But the thing is, if you can't get to your gun, you have to rely on your human body and your instincts. You got to have backup.
Amen to that. Amen to that. In fact, you mentioned one thing. When I used to train years ago, and my sensei taught me two things. And always go for the throat and the eye, simply because when you hit a man in the throat, it doesn't take much contact.
I agree.
And if someone can't breathe, then you are the last thing they're thinking of. They're thinking about survival. And go for the eyes. If you stick your finger in somebody's eyes, I don't care how big they are, that's going to back them up right there.
It's a painful thing because that's the weakness. Your biggest thing is to hit, strike, and run. Like we say in guerrilla warfare in the Marine Corps, hit and run. I hit, I run. I don't stand toe to toe because there could be another person. Always hit and run.
And if you're running, run to get your gun.
That's right, that's right. You got it.
Hey, ladies, I'll tell you, when we start over here and then show them some of the basic training.
So when we come up here, you want to ear slap right, ear slap left, just for the training, 1 and 2. So you want to go right, left. Good, good. Do that again. Good, do it again. Okay, ladies, go through.
Wow.
Slap that ear. Good.
Good deal, Michelle. Very good.
Rachel.
Where does he follow?
Good, nice. Nice. Mary,
Wow.
slap that ear.
And you know one of the great things about that? It's not hard. I mean, all 5 women just come out there, bam, bam, and it's like instinct. I mean, it's not. You don't have to think to do it. And that's a great move right there.
And another thing, if the guy's trying to approach the woman, if she yells real loudly and she goes, "Stop!"
That's attracting attention. And the one thing that a bully or an attacker does not want is attention. And also, this show would move too here a little bit because I see a lot when men attack women, they always seem to try to choke. I've seen that especially on TV a lot.
Yes.
And it's a choke. So show, please show one thing too, and how a woman can get out of that right there.
On chokes, I poke the throat. I got that one. Throat pokes, you can either slap in the ear too.
Okay.
Slap in the ear, or her favorite.
Okay.
She loves a knee to the groin. And then when she's here, she'll hit the throat. And it's like a boxer's jab.
Right.
It don't have to go all the way through, but she can give me a nice jab in. Now the first thing I do is do that. Now Brenda's favorite technique is knee me in the groin. And that will be the next thing.
But once again, like we mentioned earlier, if you hit a man hard enough in the throat, and it doesn't take, you don't have to be a kung fu master,
No,
to
you
do
don't. And
that's
make
gonna
it simple but direct.
And that's going to make it where he can't breathe. It's going to choke him back too.
Now, one thing you don't want to do, don't do this. I'm fighting. See?
And that may be the first instinct what a lot may have to. Oh, it goes, I can't breathe right there. So just get your mind out of fighting that way and just go for the throat. That's really good. Or the bam, the slap. And also, if they're choking you, it just grab and squeeze that sucker like that.
That's one of my other techniques.
Okay, just grab, and he's gonna let go of you right there.
Please, Michelle.
One more move.
Now, one that they always face is when a person is wrapping one arm around here. And this one's a vertically face down elbow.
So if somebody comes up and grabs you real quickly, boom, the first thing you do is put your hand right up in here to try to give you breathing room and just bam, at an instinct.
Automatic.
The thing I always like to emphasize is like they're coming at you. That's why I tell the women, even if you don't have a gun on you, put your hand in your purse, like, hey, you mess with me, you want to get something, I got something for you. And they don't know what's in there. They don't know if it's mace, They don't know if it's a stun gun, they
I
don't know if
agree.
it's a gun, or they don't know what you got. And then once again, bullies and attackers, they always want to pry on the weak and the innocent. If they look like they got a fight, 9 out of 10 are going to back away from you and find someone else. So that's a good thing, ladies. Just say, you know, and always stare your attacker. If you think, stare them in the eye. Don't be afraid. If you look timid, they're going to think you're timid. So just put that, you know, and put yourself like that. You know, if you're walking by them, just let them know, you screw with me, you got something coming up your butt, you know. And it's plain and simple. Jack, it has been a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Rachel. She just did a great demonstration. She just came to me and she would like to share a story. And this is a private story, and so I commend her for coming out and talking about it. Rachel, what happened to you?
I was raped when I was 19, and for a long time I kept it. I just didn't admit it. I was in denial, and I didn't realize that it took a toll on me emotionally and mentally, and then I finally admitted it, and I was on that road to becoming a survivor instead of a victim.
Amen.
So, yeah, and doing the self-defense classes really empowers me, and it encourages me to keep going and just be more positive and take a negative situation and try to make it more positive and help other people.
Well, that's a great thing. I mean, that is truly a story of taking lemons and turning it into good lemonade, you know, because I can only imagine what that must do to a woman's psyche.
Yeah, it's anxiety disorder, I mean, PTSD, depression, all of those things. You don't realize like how much it affects you. You can get over it physically, but mentally you're a mess. And this has just been so great. I have my friend that got me involved in this, and it's been such a blessing.
So the self-defense, taking the karate and everything, that's just, it's giving you a new feel about it.
Yeah, new confidence. I mean, I'm able to get in front of a camera now. Like, I never would have been able to do that, like having the social anxiety disorder, so.
And you're natural. I mean, you should be in Hollywood as an actress. You're so natural from that camera. So
it adds too much. The camera adds too much weight. So no,
can't do that. That's a woman. But no, that's great. So
Yeah.
after it happened, it just mentally.
Yeah, I shut down. I didn't realize like how I was I was a negative person. I just had a negative outlook, and it was really hard. Like, I couldn't be around people. I couldn't talk about it. It was difficult. It was really challenging, you know, but you have to get to that point where you want to heal, and sometimes that means like doing something physically, spiritually, both. This has just been wonderful. Everything is, you know, I feel I'm a survivor, not a victim anymore. So.
Amen. So you feel empowered.
Yes, very empowered. Yes.
That's such a blessed word right there.
I can go out with more confidence now. I don't feel, I'm not scared. I'm aware of my surroundings.
Now you know if somebody comes to mess with you.
Yeah. I'm not going down without a fight this time.
Amen.
So.
Hello ladies. Hey, I want to show you a technique that I learned personally, and this is something that could help get you out of a situation in several different circumstances. Bottom line, what happened is I was upstairs working on my computer. I heard some noise downstairs, and I came out and hollered to see if anyone was in the house. They did not respond. Bottom line, a friend was staying at the place and they were playing a game. Let me show you what happened, and I just want to show you ways to get out of it, to keep yourself much more safer. Hello? Hello? Anybody here? Damn, I know I heard some noise. I better get my gun. Hello? Anybody here? Anybody here? Hello? That's exactly what happened, ladies. I was walking around the corner and my friend was standing there playing a game with me. And I walked right up,
thank God I have a lot of gun experience because I knew to immediately look for the face and, before I shot. So many people would have just gone, bam, and you would have just shot your friend or your family member, and oh, good Lord, you don't want that to happen. But let me give you a little lesson. I think it can help you out in a lot of different circumstances. Hello? Whew. I went out wide. You notice that? When you're walking real close, it's so easy for the bad guy to get a jump on you. But when you come out and give yourself some distance, he just can't jump you, but also it gives you a chance to evaluate, is that a friend or is that an enemy? I see a cool cat loves you shirt on that cat, so I know he's a friend right there. But if he was a bad guy, it would have gave me a chance to protect myself. And also, ladies, use this in a lot of different circumstances. Going to the elevator, going to your office, just walking down the street. Just don't walk so close where someone can get the jump. Give yourself some room. And I really think that could help you.
Hi everybody. Hey, we're here today with a special friend of mine that I've known for a lot of years. And this is Sarfine. How you doing, huh?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Well guys, hey, I tell you what, we're here to talk about something very serious, and that is senior citizens and gun self-defense. Attacks against senior citizens has been rising dramatically throughout the United States, and it's just shameful. So, honey child, what is your opinion about senior citizens and self-defense?
I feel like every senior citizen should have a gun. As a matter of fact, I have two. I have a 22 and a 38.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because with having arthritis, if I can't move fast enough, I have one by my nightstand. I can get it real quick.
Okay.
Than having to jump up trying to find the other one. Because the way they're breaking in on senior citizens now and kicking doors in is just ridiculous. And I feel like they should be able to protect themselves because they certainly can't fight back.
And I'm so glad that you have that opinion right there, and I just hope that more senior citizens have that opinion. Mm-hmm. I saw on news, it was years ago, but I'll always remember this. It was like a 60-minute type show, one of those, where the guy went to a prison. He was interviewing people that were convicts, and one of them was someone who attacked a senior citizen, and he asked him one question. He says, if you didn't know if that person had a gun, would you have robbed them or attacked them? He went, hell no, I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. And he says, and that's one thing, he says, now grannies carry a gun under their blanket in their chair now. He says, so I ain't gonna mess with no senior citizens.
Right.
So,
right.
Good. Had you been carrying a gun for a long time?
I sure have.
Amen.
And I carried now and keep it handy now more than I did years ago because of being a senior citizen. You can't move as fast, you can't get around as fast, mm-hmm. and you'll be sitting in your room or in your living room or sitting room, and when you look up you think you're alone and there's somebody standing over you. So what you gonna do?
Well, you gotta take care of yourself.
I will.
Amen.
I'm gonna do that.
And guys, please take this lady's advice. I mean, if you're a citizen, I don't care how old you are, please protect yourself out there because the world's getting really crazy.
It is.
So there's a lot of crazy people out there, and it takes a good guy with a gun to stop the bad guy with the gun. Because when seconds count, police are usually minutes away.
That's true.
Well, it's a pleasure. I'm glad you're here with me, sweetie.
Thank you.
You got it.
It's good to be here.
All right. God bless.
If you don't want to own a gun, just get an empty shotgun. I mean, all someone has to hear is that in the hallway, and you don't have to have anything in it. If you're afraid of it, that's fine. That's enough. Or terrified women with a shotgun like this is enough to make anybody leave the house.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but I need to wash this. Who could that be? I'm not expecting anybody.
Halt! Cut! People, always, the reason I'm cutting this scene is I want you to always use that peephole whenever you come to the door. You see, home invasions are on the rise throughout the United States of America, really throughout the world right now. And if you just open up the door blindly, you give the person a chance to bum rush it, and to bum rush it real easily. And what could happen to you then? You can get hurt, you could get beaten, you could be raped, or you can be murdered. Always use the peephole and don't be afraid to say, who is it and what do you want? That was good, Nicole. Back to first, please. Thank you.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but I need to clean this. Who's that? I'm not expecting anyone. Who is it, and what do you want?
Pizza delivery.
Pizza? I didn't order any pizza.
Oh, I mean Candygram.
Candygram? What are you talking about?
Oh, I mean, I have an appointment with your husband. Is he home?
Oh yeah, my husband's right here.
Hey, very good. Very good. Stay right there, Nicole. Hey, what do you like? You like that gun?
Oh, it reminds me of a baby, but it's even better. A little bit more dangerous.
Hey, I love that. But guys, hey, I want to show you something right here, okay? One of our earlier interviewees stated that even if you're afraid to have a loaded weapon in your house, which can be understandable for some people, just having a shotgun where you can make that clicking noise right there can scare the death out of your attackers, and it make them run away most of the times, for sure, right there, because that's a very frightening sound. Hey, I just want to show you something. Here's an advertisement I got in the mail just a couple of days ago, about a week ago. It's from one of the major sports stores, and they have the 12-gauge shotguns on sale right here for just $220. And for $220, you know, it's a great investment for any household. Once again, even if you don't want to keep it loaded, bing, bang, boom. Just the noise of that being cocked can scare your attacker away and help save your life. All right. Guys, here's all America shoot with a shotgun, baby. Woo-wee!
Well, yeah, last week I was sleeping. It was about 3 in the morning. Brother came in and he was like, you know, shh, don't say anything. And I was wondering what was happening. And there was a man in my backyard, by my window.
Peeking in your window.
And I guess he ran outside, scared him off, and he jumped over the fence. Okay. We walked outside. There were squad cars everywhere. The police had been looking for the guy. He was armed and dangerous. So
that got real serious then.
Yeah, and I just can't help but wonder, you know, if I had a gun, you know, maybe I could have protected myself better. What if my brother wasn't home, you know? So,
exactly. And just think if the police weren't out there looking for him too.
Yeah. I got lucky there, but I feel like a lot of young women aren't so lucky all the time, and I got to learn to protect myself. It's just terrifying, you know. You want to make sure that you're safe, and especially if you don't go with like other people to the store. Okay. You get kind of nervous, and that's a shame. You should be able to go to the store and be fine, but just because it's a dangerous world out there, you want to be able to protect yourself. So.
Hey guys, here's another tip I want to give you. Whenever you're shooting, say if your attacker is coming after you, don't stick your arms out and lock it, because you don't have near as much control over the weapon at that point. What you do is want to keep it in sort of to you. Bam, bam, bam. And let me give you a little demonstration. Say if he's coming, you got 3 bad guys coming at you. Boom. Then you got good control of your weapon right there. All right. I'm here today with Nick Capasso. And how you doing today, Nick?
Good, how are you?
All right. Well, you notice I've been interviewing a lot of women for the Gun Self-Defense for Women project, and you may wonder why I'm interviewing a gentleman. There's 2 reasons. First of all, Nick is my camera B operator, and he's also a PA on the project. He's been doing a really good job. So one of the deals I made with him is I'm going to give him some FaceTime. Hey, I work deals over here at Cool Cap Productions. Nothing the matter with that. But Nick also went in. The reason why I'm interested is you've never shot a gun before.
No, I haven't.
Okay, and I really want you guys to see what it looks like when, especially a big boy like this shoots a weapon for the first time. This is going to be very interesting. And I believe you want to take the CCW classes with us also?
Sure, I could do that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I'd love to add this. Nick has been doing some acting with us, playing the bad guy in a couple of the skits. Really, he's just a big, gentle giant. And I really had to pump him up as a director to try to get that mean look on his face, because it was hard to do, trust me. But Nick, you got a couple good stories for us. What happened?
Oh, yeah. I actually, I had a buddy of mine from high school. I played football with him. And he went back into his car, left his car door open, which is bad. Like that, that basically gives him free access and stuff. So the guy just came up, pointed a gun at him, said, give me your car. And he fought back against him, and the guy shot him right there, and he died.
Oh, wow. In fact, just like on one of the skits that you helped us with is attacking the girl when she's getting into her car.
Yeah.
Right there. And I mean, I cannot emphasize enough is in situations like that, always be aware of your surroundings and get in your car, close that door quickly and lock it. Rule 1 right there, and that will help you.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very excited to learn how to use a firearm to protect myself in this crazy world.
We're going to load a clip first, just to show how easy it is or how difficult. So whenever you're loading a clip, hold it to the side away from you right there, just so nothing will ever happen. Because it's always safety first, and second is, you've already heard me say this, know your weapon. Very important right there. So I tell you what, since I am a Southern man and always believe in ladies first, how would you like to give it a try first?
Okay, I'll try.
There you go, Liz. Oh, you're doing great. And you're using, and you notice she's using her thumb to push it down. Don't use a little finger. Use a thumb, because you got more strength in your thumb to go down, to push down. Have you ever loaded a clip before?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Girl, you catching on quick there. Good deal.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Okay, guys, we're going to do a little practice shooting. We got a terrorist over there. Here's a little camera rig I rigged up so we can see the facial expressions for the first time they shoot. But I'm going to show you how to shoot right now. There you go. What we're going to do now, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Once you come over here and aim at the target. Okay, just aim. I just want to get you safe. Okay, hold your arms out. Okay, yeah, that's good. Get it. Grab the gun. Don't be afraid to grab it now. Hold it tight. Perfect. Now aim at the target. It's all you. Whenever you're ready, honey.
Ooh. Wow, that's powerful.
Okay.
I had to like hold it.
Yeah, hold it. You're doing a great job. Doing a great job. Look at you.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think? Wait, just hit her. It's the first time she ever shot. What do you think?
Yeah, that was cool. That was fun.
Okay, you want to do again?
I'm gonna try to shoot for his head.
I think you nailed that sucker. Wow.
Whoa.
Did it go down your shirt?
No, it went on the ground, but it touched my shirt.
Okay, let's get a couple more here. Woo!
Oh my God, you jinxed me.
So you ready? Go in and point that weapon out. Okay, this is the first time Nick's ever shot. Aim and pull the trigger when you feel comfortable. Woo! Hey, wait, how'd you like that, man?
A lot of kickback.
Look at that look on his face. Okay, put your thumb down, okay? Now aim it. Wow. Dude, you're doing well. That's fine.
Starting to get the hang of it.
Okay. What do we do?
You pop it in there.
Okay. Boo, good. Okay, now what do we do?
And then...
No? The switch? No?
Oh, the switch. You have to hit the switch.
You got to hit the switch because that makes the barrel go up.
Yeah, it makes
and
the
that
barrel
and that
go up.
and that chambers around in the barrel.
Okay.
Now, see, it's already cocked. It's ready to go. Hit a couple rounds, then we'll let Nick shoot next.
Okay.
Whoa!
Woo! Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so alive. I love shooting.
Hey, guys, for her first time, come on over here, Sweaty. For her first time, she's doing a great job.
Thank you.
A1 to you.
Uh-huh.
Good job.
Yep, it's not as hard as I thought.
And
it's easy.
Ladies, I want you to really emphasize what she just said.
It's easy. It's not as hard as it looks. It's really easy.
Hey, Nick, you want to give it a try real quick? Oh, yeah. Okay, what do you do first, Nick? Okay. You know, okay, if it's not doing, why? It's on safety. It's why it's not doing it. See, he was going in and won't cocking because it's on safety. You always make sure that it's pointed and you see the red dot. That means live right there. Okay, gotcha. Here you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's looking good, man. How would you like to do some shotgun shooting?
Yeah, I want to try a shotgun.
Okay, just hold it tight up against your shoulder, okay? Get it where it's mounted up against your shoulder.
Okay, like that.
Yeah,
Pull it
right
tight.
There. Okay, and hold the gun. Don't be light with it, okay?
Okay.
Rest, okay? Great. Whenever you're ready.
Woo! Oh my gosh.
How's that feel?
Yeah, that was a powerful gun.
Go into tell the camera. What was your spirit shooting a shotgun?
That was really powerful. It had it wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought it was gonna hurt me, but it didn't. But it was a lot of kickback to it. I like shooting it though.
Did it hurt?
No, I want to shoot it again.
Okay.
Always.
Now what you do on a shotgun?
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Okay.
And it's ready to go.
Okay.
Butt it up against your shoulder. Now aim at him this time. Aim straight down the barrel. Hold it where you can look down the barrel. Down it. Okay, you see you're shooting real high. Now you're aiming right at him, okay?
Okay.
You see? Go. Woo! Whoa! You nailed it too.
I did, I got it?
Yes.
It's really heavy. Yeah, it worked out.
Okay.
So my arms are
Now it's ready.
That's why you got to keep it tight.
Okay, okay. Hold it up against your shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me get on
once you
the
get on this side of him. And the thing is, this boy's so big, his shoulder's everywhere right there. He just puts it there, and he's on target already. Just aim down the barrel.
Little lower. Little lower. There you go.
Okay, yeah, that's looking good. Okay, whenever you're ready. Wow, good shot, man. Okay, you got did you click it all the way? You got to click it, okay?
All the way.
How'd that feel to you?
Well, that's pretty powerful. Oh yeah.
Oh, good shot.
Go. Hit.
Okay.
Hit.
Good. Okay, let me see it 1 second. You okay?
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah.
Here, hit it. Show the target here. Well, ladies, say this time I want to show you the true power of a shotgun and what this bad boy can do. You know, I mentioned we have 3 targets, and our 3rd target right here is an average bad guy. But you notice he's got 2 thugs with him, water bottles. So you see what this weapon can do to help protect your life. That's what a 12 gauge shotgun can do to your attackers. Guys, come over here. You see what this did. Wow. First of all, look at this pole. My God, it just shredded the metal right here. Wow-wee. Okay. This, you got a good close-up on that, Daryl? Look at that. It just blew right through there. Look at all those shotgun pellets right there. If a man is coming to do whatever to you, to hurt you, this right here will save your life, ladies. 12 gauge shotgun. A little make skeet shoot right here with the 12 gauge shotgun. Okay? Pull. I don't know if I got that sucker or not, did I?
I don't know, but I was able to follow it.
Yeah,
no, you got it. You got it.
Pull!
I got it! We just got finished shooting in the desert and with our 2 version shooters, and I got to say that they both did a fabulous job. Now, okay, since Nick is right there beside you, just hit him first. Nick, how'd you like it?
It was fun. I've shot paintball guns before, but these guns are so much more powerful. It's amazing.
Good deal. Did you have fun though?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had so much fun.
What's your experience? Do you recommend that everyone should go out and shoot a gun and give it a try? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely just go to a range and have fun with it. Yeah, but be safe, of course, too.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, now you just go to the lovely lady, Liz. Yes. Can want you to look back up there and say hi. Tell her how'd you like. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun shooting guns. My favorite was the shotgun. I wanted to keep shooting it, but the storm kicked us out. But it was a lot of fun, and I do recommend everyone learning how to shoot a gun and protect themselves.
And okay, this was the first time. Have you ever even held a gun before?
No.
Yeah, you never really even held one or touched one or anything, basically.
Well, my dad has guns, and I've touched his gun like once, but he doesn't like me touching his gun, so no.
Wow, so this, I mean, straight out.
Yeah.
You're brand new. Was it scary or anything? Right there, look back there, talk to the camera.
I was scared at first, but it really isn't scary. I'm over my fear. So I was scared to shoot the shotgun because it was really heavy and it was big, but if I can shoot it, anyone can shoot a gun.
Hey folks, in the documentary we have addressed several different self-defense methods, from guns to mace to stun guns to karate self-defense. Now I want to address knives. Okay, first and foremost, and please listen very closely here, I do not suggest or recommend you to try to fight with a knife, simply because if you don't know what you're doing, they can just be taken away from you real quickly, and trust me, you'll be in a much worse situation than you were in the very beginning. But if a knife is the only thing you have to protect yourself, I want to show you a couple basic knife moves. Rule 1, never hold your knife out like this, like you see them in the movies. Oh, I got a knife, oh, back up, because it will be kicked out of your hands real quickly at that point. So don't do that. Now, the 2 things that you got to remember with the knife is you got to be quick and you got to be the same aggressively. Go in at them right there. And the thing is, on a lot of attackers, if they see you know what you're doing and you come in at them, and they'll run from you. They'll get away from you. Now, so that's just one little thing on the knife. And when you come in, be fast and aggressive. That's the main thing right there about defending yourself with the knife. Now, you notice in the movies, the bad guy always catches the lady in the kitchen. Now, a butcher knife can be a good friend to you because you got a little reach where you can get out on them right there. So, if you're in it, just remember, go fast, and that right there could help save your life. But always be careful with the knife. And children, don't ever play with the knife. Well, hey guys, wow, this is such an exciting day, and this is a day that I have been looking forward to for a long, long time, and that's because this is CCW Day, the Concealed Weapons Permit. We're driving to the gun range right now today, folks. Well, I'll tell you what, so sit back and let's enjoy and just have a great time together and learn a lot together too. All right.
Derek Savage and his production company are filming a video called Gun Self-Defense for Women. And so Derek's going to come up for a minute and explain what he needs to do.
Well, I know what we're doing over here. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Alex right here and the Range 702 for sponsoring our class right here, the ladies on the Take the CCW. We're running late. I don't want to take away any
No worries.
time
We'll
from
get
Alex.
started. Cool.
And
you shut the door in the back. We'll go ahead and
just going to get started, guys.
All right, guys, so now I know a little bit about you guys and where you're from. One thing that I want to point out is that we're all from different walks of life, right? Some of us are going to be in different places. In our free class that fills up to the brim every Wednesday, that class is full of people from, who are out in our community in different places. Some of them work at a mall. Some of them work at car washes and hotels and restaurants and bars. Some of them work at movie theaters and libraries, right? And the thing that you realize is that pretty much everywhere you go, somebody's got a gun. So it's nice that you guys are all here to learn a little bit about firearms and concealment and those laws and how they affect us, okay? So the primary goal of the class is to teach you guys where you can and can't carry and when you can and can't use a firearm in self-defense or in any other way, okay? That's the primary goal, but we're gonna cover a lot of different stuff. The course curriculum for this class is mandated by the Nevada Sheriffs and Chiefs Association, so they pick what I teach you. I don't get to pick it, okay? Right at the beginning, I like to go over the reasons that Nevada might deny your CCW application.
Hey guys, check it out. Just got my certificate for the CCW. This is a great day right here. We're cutting out because it's time to go shooting.
No food or drink allowed in there. Eye protection stays on at all times. Don't take it off for any reason. If you have any questions, let me know, okay?
Hey guys, I tell you what, it was a very exciting time. I'd like to introduce you to somebody. This is Cheryl Prater.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, good. You mentioned something to me, and I thought it was very, very interesting about taking responsibility about getting the CCW, that it's not just, hey, I got a gun, now I'm going to start. No, tell us, give us your honest opinion here.
Well, a lot of people, they think that, I'm going to go get my CCW and start carrying a gun. It's more than that. You can get your CCW, carry a gun, but you also have to be mentally ready to be, if you are in a situation, to pull your gun out to defend yourself. So I don't want the ladies to think that they can just come to the class, buy a gun, and they're ready. You need to come practice. You need to get familiar with your gun. You need to do various classes so you're able to shoot better and feel much more comfortable with the gun. That's what a lot of people don't realize. A gun is a major thing to have.
It's a commitment.
It's a
what
commitment.
It is.
And if you are not mentally ready, you're going to be carrying a CCW or open carry, and you're not mentally ready to use that gun to defend yourself, it's going to harm you because somebody may be and grab it out.
And that's such a great point right there. I mean, one thing about carrying a CCW or having it, it gives you, it empowers you, but yet you got to be mentally ready. When something happens, to take, to protect yourself.
Yes.
And I really want to emphasize that point right there. Just because you take a class and you pass it, where we both pass with flying colors.
Both pass.
Long story short, okay, rate it from a 1 to 10, coming to take the CCW class.
I would say 1 to 10. I think we did a lot of laughing and all that. The breaks were good. I would give it a 9.5 because nothing is ever perfect. You can always find a little fall in something.
Oh, yeah.
But I give it a 9.5 because it was a very enjoyable class and the instructor was really good.
I truly agree with that point. 9.5 stamp of approval.
Correct. Absolutely.
Well, sure. Hey, real quick. Why? Because you're one of the first ladies I brought aboard with the project. Why are you interested in being a part of the project?
Because I truly believe that women need to know how to defend themselves. And I truly believe that women need to understand these aren't a toy. They're not a toy. They're not what you see on TV. They are very, very powerful. When you're in there, it's very, very loud. And women need to be educated on them. They need to know their safety, and they need to feel comfortable with them.
And that is so pointed, like I've emphasized in the thing, get to know your gun, or get to where you feel comfortable with it. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're not doing anybody any good.
Yes, yes. And just because you want to say, well, if somebody breaks in my house, I'm going to have a gun. Not necessarily. You need to know your gun and feel comfortable with it. So the more classes you take, the more time you're in the range, the more you're going to feel comfortable with it.
Amen to that right there. Hey, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Really, another thing too on buying a gun, don't just go out and buy a gun. Go to the various ranges and try the different guns. Try the different 22s, the 9mm, the 38s. There's all different types of guns. So don't just go out and buy a gun. Make sure you go to the gun range and rent guns until you feel comfortable with one that you actually want to make a purchase with.
And that is such great advice right there. Get one that you feel good, because if you're a small woman, you don't want a 45.
No,
you know?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. And she did do a very good job. You did good.
I haven't shot in a while, but yeah, I've been filming.
He told me that your first shot was a bullseye.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
And you're a bullseye for this project, Cheryl. I sure appreciate you being a part of it.
Absolutely.
God bless you,
Thank
honey.
you for having me.
You got it. Hey guys, check this out. You remember Nick? This is my, our camera B operator right here. And last weekend when we went to the desert was the first time he's ever shot a gun in his life. And look what he did right here, guys. Second time shooting. And he passed his CCW.
Yep.
How do you feel about that, buddy?
Pretty good. Yeah, I messed up here.
Oh, no,
I got the one
good.
right there though. I got that.
Hey, you did right in the center there, baby.
Yep.
You did good. Okay, let's put that aside.
Sure.
I want to ask you a question. How'd you like taking the CCW?
It was very educational and stuff. I learned a lot, and the instructor he's a nice guy. He can be kind of funny and energetic and stuff. So it's edutainment, as I like to say.
Well, that is a great word, right? Just say that one more time.
Edutainment.
Oh, I tell you what, I've never heard that before, to be honest with you. That's really good. And 1 to 10, taking the CCW for someone who's only shot once before, which was in the desert with us last week. What do you think? Throw it to him.
I'd give it 10. Yeah.
A 10? Wow, I said a 9.5. I almost feel guilty now, because I wouldn't call it a 10. I had fun, man. And once again, I've had a gun since I was 10 years old. I've been shooting my entire life. I used to be in the machine gun industry. I mean, I've shot some major weapons. And I learned new stuff in here. And it was so good to learn. And you a happy camper?
Oh yeah. It was a good class. It was fun, definitely.
Good deal.
Especially when you go to shoot. Yeah.
And you did a great job, man. Congratulations,
Thank you.
buddy.
Yeah,
boy, you've come a long way from never shooting a gun to already getting your CCW, baby. Loving it.
Right on.
Look at that smile. You can't beat that smile. Get a close up on that, man. Oh, hey, folk. Hey, I tell you what, just going to finish up on the CCW right here, from A to Z, and I want to go into, show you how I found the class. It's real easy. Well, all I did was a simple internet search, concealed weapons permit, Las Vegas. There's hundreds of them right here that just came back. So what you do is just do a simple internet search in your area, or just call a gun store. Throughout my dealings with gun stores throughout the years, they are always very nice folk that work there, and they're helpful. They want to help you. So just give them a call. Now what they say is, every state in the United States of America will issue a concealed weapons permit. But now some areas, some of the major cities, could be challenging, as in New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco. It may be a bit more challenging to get a concealed weapons permit there as compared to like Las Vegas and Houston, Texas, or something like that. But what's really, really interesting is all the areas that I just mentioned where it may be challenging, the crime rate, that's where the crime rate seems to be the highest against people. Wow. I wonder why that is, but I bet you can figure that out yourself. That's not a hard puzzle to put together right there. But now, remember when we took the CCW class? Now, the first step is you get your certificate right here that you passed the course. And what I did is I took this along with my ID to the Metro Police Department. And what they do there is they fingerprint you. It's a real quick, real easy process. The folk, they were really nice to me. We got someone at the door. Why don't we come over here and check out who's visiting with us? Ha! Remember what we learned earlier? Always look at the peephole. Crime evasions, home evasions are on the rise throughout the United States of America. So use that peephole. Oh, wait, I don't recognize that person's face right there. So, who is it and what do you want?
Mailman, letter for Derek Savage.
Oh, well, this is the mailman. Yes, go on and send. Oh, well, hi, Mr. Mailman. I'm Derek Savage. Oh, wow. Hey, thanks. You have a nice day now.
You too.
Guys, all right. Are you ready? Look at this. This is a letter from the Las Vegas Metro Police Station. Why don't we open this bad boy up? Good Lord Almighty. Everybody, I just got my state of Nevada concealed weapons permit. Isn't this just such a beautiful day today? Because now I can legally protect myself, my family, and my friends. This is a great day, folks. So hey, this is the end of the documentary here. I hope you had a great time. I hope you learned something too, and that's the main thing about it. My name's Derek Savage, and I'm wishing the very best to each and every one of you. God bless, and stay safe out there.
Well, I think it's very important to have more awareness on this subject, and more women need to carry protection. We need to hear less stories on the news of women getting raped, killed, attacked. So this is a very important project that we need to take seriously.
I tell you what, I confirm every word right there. I think it's very important for women to realize that it's a different world nowadays, and you need to be prepared to keep yourself and your family and friends safe.
Exactly. Protect your friends and your family and yourself.